The olive tree, named Oliae europaea, is a fruit tree mainly known for its oil and its wood, used in cabinet making. Its domestication is said to have taken place thousands of years ago in the Middle East. However, Phoenicians began olive tree farming in Provence around 500 BC. The olive tree is cultivated mainly in the Mediterranean area. France produces only 0.22% of the world's production, with 6,000 tons a year. Indeed, the olive tree is cultivated in 4 regions and 13 departments. The French oil sector is organized around the Interprofessional Olive Association in Aix-en-Provence, which is in charge of the economic, the agronomic and the environmental aspects. There are 30,000 olive growers in France in 260 mills, whereas 30 confectioners prepare table olives.
In the spring, we prune the trees and we fertilize the soil, which provides the necessary minerals and substances. Through pruning, timber is renewed. So, fructification is optimized. In most cultivation methods, the size of olive trees is maintained at the height of 3 or 7 meters in order to facilitate their maintenance and fruit harvest. The olive harvest starts in October. There are several harvesting methods, by hand, with manual or electric rakes and with nets under the trees, or with a specialized machine. There are more than 200 varieties of olive trees in France. 5 dominant French oil production, the Alexandra, the Caillotier, the Salonink, the Tanche, and the Picholine. A quality label is recognized by the European Union, the protected designation of origin. There are 7 of them in France.
Alors pour vous parler de l'AOP Aix-en-Provence.
For the Aix-en-Provence appellation d'origine protégée, or PDO, Protected Designation of Origin, the 2 following varieties, Alexandra and Salonink, must account for at least 80% of the olives, whereas the Provence appellation d'origine contrôlée oil contains up to 24 different varieties.
There are many olive tree pests and diseases. This year, Actrocerae oleae fly was the most devastating pest. The larval development causes olives to fall more rapidly. It also increases acidity. Therefore, the oil quality is altered. The action of the auxiliary insects on the fly is very limited. In biocontrol, some natural products are also used.
Voilà, on démarre sur la période à risque en piège.
At the beginning of the risk period, June for the olive tree, we set some fly traps in the fields in order to detect the insect. Then we apply the first treatment and we repeat the operation every 3 weeks, so that it corresponds to the fly's reproductive cycle. Kaolin is a type of clay from Brittany. It's cleansed and burnt in order to be used as biocontrol against crop pests, especially in arboriculture. Kaolin is a mineral insect repellent barrier without any biocide effects, which prevents the fly from laying in the olive. Furthermore, we can associate it to a repulsive product, because it diverts the insect from its target.
Olives may be used as table olives and in certain food preparation and recipes like tapenade or olive tree leaf herbal tea. Furthermore, the oil can be used to make soap. There are different types of oil: virgin olive oil, which is made by a natural mechanical process, and refined olive oil, which uses chemical products.
Three different fruités are produced by mills depending on olive maturity and on consumers' taste. The fruité vert is made with olives picked at the beginning of the season. The fruitemur is made with very ripe olives, both of them milled within 24 hours after the harvest, and the fruité noir.
Donc c'est-à-dire sous 24 heures, broyer les
The
olives.
fruité noir isn't admitted by the European Union, but in France we use matured olives. They are stored in bins for 4 to 5 days. During this process, this mixture ferments. The temperature can increase to 40 or 50 degrees, and then we mill the olives in order to obtain a fruité noir.
In the mill, the olives are put on a conveyor belt with vibratory or static screens, which remove the remaining leaves and olive branches by sucking them out. Only olives can pass through the screen, and then they are weighed and stored in boxes called the paddocks. Olives are washed with water at a temperature of 20 degrees maximum to avoid a temperature shock. Then they are drained.
Alors les déchets, il faut savoir qu'au niveau
The
des
pit, the pulp and the skin constitute the solid waste named olive paste or olive cake, whereas vegetable waters are known as margins. For a given weight, there is between 15 and 20% oil, 50 and 60% olive cake, and 20 to 35% margins.
Nowadays, there are two oil production processes, discontinuous process with pressure and continuous process with extraction.
Parce qu'en fait, avant, quand on était
In
avec
the old system with presses, we obtain oil, olive paste and vegetable wastewater that were released into the river. The material has evolved. Today with decanters, the oil is separated from the rest.
With the process, olives are crushed with granite greenstones for about 25 minutes to obtain an homogeneous paste. This paste is put in kneader for about 30 to 40 minutes. Then the paste is spread onto mats arranged one above the other in hydraulic press. Water and oil contained in the juice resulting from this operation are separated by decantation.
In modern mills, olives are crushed by a hammer or a blade crusher. The paste is kneaded and put into a horizontal decanter in order to separate the liquid part from the solid part. The kneading of the olive flesh makes it possible to release more oil. Then the liquid part is centrifuged. These techniques use less water and give a better oil quality. Virgin olive oil is stored in stainless steel tanks where it settles in the dark for 5 to 6 weeks at room temperature.
Chemical fertilizers were used for several years. That's why soils are not efficient, because of their impoverishment in organic matter. So, with byproducts, we have an interesting source of organic matter. But these products have a low pH, 4.5, and are composed of toxic polyphenols which have a blocking effect.
They are formed by the water contained in the drupe cells, the wash water and the water from the treatment process. Because of their very high organic content of their phenolic and polyphenolic contents, eliminating these effluents causes important problems. Since the 1990s, oil mills have emitted fewer and fewer margins because margins are mixed with olive cake.
The water and the margins are put into tanks. Then we spread them over the fields.
For margins, there's a spreading plan on soils provided by farmers. We can spread up to 50 cubic meters per hectare a year.
Transportation costs and a limited market interest in olive cake oil have reduced the profitability of this byproduct. Many mills are looking for new ways to upcycle olive cake.
L'agriculture, c'est-à-dire que
The solid waste is spread over the crops according to a spreading plan established with the Maison de l'Agriculture. Because these byproducts are acid, water sources like rivers, wells, and groundwater are subject to constraints. We spread approximately 20 to 30 tons per hectare with a field rotation to allow the ground to assimilate the organic matter.
It's sad to see that reality is sometimes different.
The olive cake is used as fuel to heat up water or for cleaning the mill. We gave some to people who own a boiler. The leftovers are composted with chicken manure and olive tree leaves.
The use of pruning waste is simple. It is put back into the soil to create a nitrogen-rich compost.
Le compostage, c'était la solution la plus appropriée.
Composting is the most appropriate solution. Moreover, we can also use it directly as organic amendment in some conditions. Co-composting is effective. It's a mixture of byproducts with all winemaking residues, debris from pruning and leaves. Every month we do soil and nitrogen analysis. It's optimal for vines, but olive trees need a nitrogen supplement. Since 1996 I have been using compost and it works well.
The production of olive oil is no doubt an important part of the Mediterranean economy. In spite of 1,000 years of olive tree cultivation, little is known about this tree. Losses caused by the flies this year show us that this crop is fragile and indirectly affected by global phenomena like global warming.
The olive tree plunges its roots beyond the memory of men and identifies itself to their story. A symbol of peace, hope and abundance, the olive tree has a sacred and emblematic nature, almost a mythical one.